Hi guys. So today we're going to look at some lights, some specific light types. There are all kinds of different lights, but most lights are shifting to be LEDs now. So you might have lights around the house that are older style with the halogen bulbs or tungsten bulbs that have the little filaments inside that you can see break. But more and more things are shifting towards LEDs, and that goes with film making as well. So we're primarily going to look at LED lights today, but there's still a lot of different types and how they work. So first of all, this I showed in a previous video, but this is just a very small little spotlight. It's a single LED. There's just one little chip in there that generates the light. It's fairly bright. The reason I point this particular light out is because it has a lens on it. Now, you can get lenses for a lot of different lights. This is the only one I have right now. I'll show you some other lights that can use that in a minute. But this just allows you to focus your light, the beam of light, and control the area it falls on. And it allows you to focus the light down so that you can narrow it onto a specific subject. Now this is actually originally just a work light, a shop light. So you could, hang this up and aim it at a specific part of a car that you were working on or something like that. But it's also very useful for production, so you just stick it on a light stand and you're good to go. And next up, you would have something like this. This is a camera mountable LED panel. These are real common. They sell these in camera kits, even when you buy just a point and shoot camera. A lot of times these days they'll come with lights like this, and they're about the same deal. They're battery operated. You can adjust the brightness. You can't focus these like you would a spotlight, but you can adjust the brightness, and they're very handy, easy and portable. I usually have a couple of these around when I'm filming, so I can stick them in different places as need be. Mounted on the camera if I need to, or tuck it behind something in a room to light up a wall. All kinds of stuff you can do with a little light panel like this. And moving up, you have a bigger light panel. Still LEDs. I showed this in a previous video briefly when we were talking about the stands. We'll turn this on just a little bit. I'm going to turn it way down. You can adjust the brightness fairly low on these. Got a lot of different little light sources. So as the light gets bigger, remember from previous videos with soft light and hard light, the smaller the light source, the harsher the light and the more pronounced your shadows. So like the spotlight here, this would be an extremely hard light, would create very defined shadows. Like we'll throw some up here on the wall. The spotlight as a single point light will create very harsh shadows on the wall and on a subject. Whereas a light like this spreads it out more, so you're going to get much softer shadows, softer light, and less pronounced shadows. So to get a really nice, big, broad, soft light, you use one of these, which is called a soft box. So this looks like this really huge light source. It's almost the size of a window, and this is a fairly small soft box. This is something you would use to create more of a soft, pleasing look. This wouldn't be for like a super dramatic or scary scene, even though I've kind of got this harsh shadow. Here, let me just try it again. All right, so this here is a soft box. This is what you would use to create a nice soft light on your subject, so you're not getting the really harsh shadows on your surface. Of course, I'm right up against it, so it's still going to be a bit more harsh than it would be on camera. Normally this would be further back and off camera. And it's actually only turned to half brightness right now. It can go up higher. Oops. But all this is are 4 light bulbs behind this diffusion. This is just a piece of kind of nylonish white fabric hanging in front of the light. You see in there, it's just 4 light bulbs, and then they're in this reflective box, which is just simple reflective material. These are super handy because they're lightweight and they provide a very large light source without much work. You do have to plug these in. These don't run off the batteries normally. Okay, so as you see here, I've got the spotlight set up. So we've got just the single point of light coming out. And I'm going to put my hand in front of it, and you see how really pronounced that shadow is. You can make the shadow puppets and whatnot. So that's just a single point of light. Here we have the light panel. So you see my shadow is still there, but it's definitely not nearly as pronounced, and it doesn't have those hard edges around it. That's important, is it doesn't have that super, you can't make shadow puppets like this. And then here we have the full soft box. I'm waving my arm in front of it now, same distance I was with the other lights, and you can hardly see the shadow because so much light, the light is coming from such a broad surface that it's never really fully